I'm back. Right now I'm programming my navigator on my phone. Even though it's weird, it's a habit I have. Even though I know where I'm going, even though I know where I'm going, I always seem to program it up 90-some% of the time. And I think it helps because I got so much going on in my life, which is stressful, that I think maybe it's, not to get into psychology, but I think it's subconsciously, holy moly, subconsciously, I think maybe I do it so that way, so I ain't daydreaming and pass, it's kind of cool. I'll show you something here if I can get it to come up here. It's caught my eye. I don't know. Just weird things kind of catch my eye. Like I've got another thing for the number 3. The Holy Trinity. I don't know if this is going to show up on camera, but we're going to close that for a minute. I don't know if this is going to show up, but I don't know if that's going to show up on film, but that's my mileage at the moment. And just in case it doesn't show up, it's 154444.0. Oh, it's kind of cool looking. Oh, it just caught my eye. Weird stuff, huh? Am I a Fruit Loop or what? Hope that don't turn you away from me. But, like I said, best way I know how to share God and my faith is sharing me. And I like me. Most people do. 99% of them anyway. So, I think subconsciously I program it. So maybe because of the stress that I'm going through, to be safer, so I don't miss a turn or make a random quick brake turn or something, blanked out what I was saying, where it was everything. I don't know. My mind, right there where my mind went, so you kind of share a little more of me. Oh yeah, I was talking about programming that so that way, in case I'm daydreaming, it'll let me know about a turn coming ahead of time, so so I don't daydream past it. But where I started daydreaming there is I got this idea about being able to help more people once I can afford to get some land and stuff. And I've met so many nomads, whether it's by choice or by life circumstances, people that are living in their vehicles, campers, vans, RVs, cars. Starting to snow a little. Bear with me on this video. I'll ball bouncing all over the map. Oh my, oh my. This will be another tough one for me to title. I've had a few of them where I try to, because I got so much going on. I feel like I can't dedicate 100% into trying to make this channel perfect, like with perfect titles and whole production, because I don't want it to be that anyway. I just want it to be real and raw, just me hitting the camera and I'm talking, I'm sharing me, whether I'm daydreaming or not. Hopefully there ain't too much daydreaming going on, because that'll get pretty boring for y'all. definitely 100% real. I mean, I haven't aired all my dirty laundry. Started to a few times, you know. It's like squirrely family situation, you know. It is what it is, I guess, you know. But I know God's got it up planned with it all. It always works out, always does. I just stopped at the churches, and they helped me out again with a $25 gas card. And I was just telling them, sharing a story there about what I started talking about, and I think in the video prior to this, I think I started talking about that. Scramble brain here. That's about how all this is meant to be. Whatever it is I'm going through, whatever God's guiding me, there is a reason for it. And I was explaining at the church here, telling them a story about why I see this. And when I share these stories, whether somebody believes it or not, whether they think I'm crazy or not, I guess I can't say it doesn't matter, because I hope that people understand it and feel it. But I know it is truth, so that's what matters. You know, I know I'm not crazy. Although I did start to wonder that shortly after my mom died, and I started feeling things here, you know, about where I was supposed to go to help doing this channel and stuff. And I started wondering if I was losing my noodle, because, you know, I had so much stress going on, but I'm not. Anyway, I know all this has a purpose. Me coming to town up here, I know I was supposed to. Within that lot at Walmart, I mean, I'm not trying to plug Walmart either, you know, but I'm thankful that they don't bother me and that I can stay there and I'm not harassed, you know, and I'm very respectful. I don't make a mess, and I try to still bounce around and stay other places, so I'm not there all the time, you know, like, you know, and I try to even keep mess from happening for other people that aren't as respectful in the area, I guess. But anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked. I have met so many different people that I know I can feel it through the Lord that I was supposed to meet them, you know, and friendships that I formed. And as what I started talking about, that story I told today, shared at the church real quick, is about this guy I met that was in front of my camper, and we're changing that water pump. And it's a video I'm going to share sooner, because right now I'm scheduled out for videos that I've been putting out so much, 2 a day, and even though this is going to come out after it, I was at this current time when I'm filming this one, I'm scheduled out to like April 5th, and but there's another video which would have been coming out even still after I'm filming this one right now, which today is the 18th of February. I'm going to put that one out sooner. I don't know why, but I feel like God wants me to put it out sooner. There's 2 of them. Or 2 or 3. I can't remember. Oh, I can't remember now. It's at least 2, but it may be 3. I got it in my notes. Sometimes they told me to put them out sooner, and what it is, you might have to go back to those videos, you know, to see them, if you hadn't seen them, because they've been put them out before this comes up. Woke up to him being in front of my camper with his hood up. He was changing the water pump, is what I found out, but I was going to help him. You know, that's what I do. I help people. And turns out that from when I was like 4 or 5 years old until I was about 11 years old or something like that, 10, 11 maybe, me and him grew up in the exact neighborhood, know all the same people, everything, so I don't exactly recollect him in my life, but I know he was in my life, because we know all the same people, all the same names, all the different stories, the different things that happened with all the different groups of kids and stuff. So I know I've seen him. The thing is, you know, while I was 5, he was, you know, 11 or 12 or whatever, somewhere in there. So of course he's not going to be hanging out with me, because I'm just a little teeny kid compared to him. He's hanging out with his older parents, you know. But I did get to hang out with the older kids more, because my brother was more this guy's age, and God, I wish my brother wasn't such a rotten like, yeah, you know, he knew it, like, because he lived it. So we knew all the same stuff from that whole time period. Yeah, it was crazy. And there's no way it was fake either, because when I brought up, it scared me. See, I was prepared this time for that. I brought my tablet up here because I knew I might have an alarm going off. And the tablet's back there, I can't shut it off. So, how I know that this guy wasn't just, yeah, I know them too, yeah, there was actual real communication and verification through it all. It's like I brought up one guy's name and a story that happened to him, and right away he shot out a nickname as soon as I said his name, before I even told the story. You know, I said his name and he said the nickname, which I knew right away he knew the story. You know, so I mean, there was no BS in there. It was all real. I don't know how to explain it. You know, I mean, I don't think I'm anybody really special. I like who I am. You know, I can look in the mirror and I'm happy with who I am, even though I may not like my circumstances. I know the kind of person I am. I know the kind of man I am. I don't like this stressful situation I'm in, but I know there's a reason for it, because throughout this whole stressful situation in the last 8 months or whatever, time after time after time, God keeps verifying to me that He's right here with me, and there's a reason for it all. You know, whether it was Gregory, who I'd never met before, that knocked on my camper to come give me money right when I was crying to God about it, whether it's my friend Cliff I met, whether it's my friend Tony I met, whether it's why am I blanking his name now? I can't think now. I want to say Roger. I guess his name was Roger. I hope I'm not wrong. I hope I'm not leaving anybody out that's watching my videos that I've interacted with. You know, I care about you all. And whether I forgot to mention you or didn't or whatever, I still care about you. And oh, Dave, there's another one. I almost forgot Dave. Sorry, Dave. I don't know if he watches my videos anyway, but I was really glad to meet you too, Dave. Me and Dave got to spend a lot of time in my camper. He was the one that was broke down in the lot for a couple months. How could I forget him? We had spent a lot of time with him. My goodness gracious, shame on me. No, not serious shame. So, yeah, it just all meant to be, man. You know, there's a lot of stories I'd like to tell you about Dave too that I got to learn from him. I did share about when I met him and how he gave me the heart carved into a stone, and how that was scary. I did share his story about him making canes or walking sticks and the stones that he carves into hearts, and I played an audio clip that he let me record of him. But talking to him more about stuff he's been through in his life, and a very interesting life he's lived. God has been walking with him his whole life, whether he knew it or not, because he's been through some stuff that he survived. And I'd like to talk more about it, but in our discussions, we did talk about how interesting his life was and all the things he'd been through, and how it'd be great to tell that story and stuff. And he was like, well, maybe when I'm dead, you know. When he was dead and gone, then he was okay with it. He didn't want to be on video camera. And he wasn't ready for that now, telling that story, but he knows a lot of very interesting people, some famous people and stuff like that. But so I got to share a lot of stories with him, or hear a lot of his stories, and I got a pretty good read up, people. It wasn't like made up stuff either. so at some point, and maybe in the future, I'll get to share some of his stories. Oh, and another guy, Gary. Gary, who I met, who he's watching traffic. There's a guy trying to get into a pump there, so I don't want to take up his spot. Sorry for my sidetrack in there. Now Gary, Gary, I know he don't watch my channel, but Gary is pretty old. He's up there in age. Met him at the library a few months back. He literally bumped into me, backed into my bumper, and then we got talking. And what's cool about this is getting long. Anyway, I don't know how to shorten this up, but Gary, on my other channel, new creator, I've got a video about John Dillinger, the gangster's cabin on Big Marine Lake. And there's a story in the description about Ruby Rydeen and her little brother riding the pickup truck from John Dillinger, that tells the story about his cabin and all that kind of stuff. Well, anyway, turns out this Gary I met after I'd met him a few months ago. Well, then I seen him again at the library. He was like, "Hey, you and me talked a long time that one day." I said, "Yeah, sit down if you want to visit." So I didn't pay too much attention to editing and uploading. Then I just got busy talking to him, and he started asked me if I was staying in the area. So, well, yeah. I said, I've been looking for work, but I want to stay in Forest Lake area or whatever, and within the city town, maybe Lindstrom, maybe Chisago, whatever, And he said, started talking to me about a son-in-law and another place that might hire, and I might be able to use him as reference. So then I asked him his last name, and he told me. Well, it turns out he is the nephew of Ruby, and it was his dad that was in the truck with John. Because when he told me, I said, "You ain't anybody any chance related to Ruby Rydeen, are you?" He says, "That's my aunt." And I said, "She rode in the truck with John Dillinger." He said, "With my dad." That was cute. But anyway, this is getting long. God bless you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.